Is it recording? Yes. Hello, guys. Oh, we're gonna watch more of these. I think they're mostly like scary videos. I think some might be the, conspiracy, whatever you want to call them. I'm gonna go ahead and play one now.
Oh, please, please help! Somebody! I would like a bone.
Buck or something. Wait, stop right there. What is that? Is that a buck?
What is that?
Dude, that's not a buck, dude. That's not. Dude, go, 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 go.
Let's get it back and scared.
This person just dancing along.
I didn't see that. I don't think they can hear us too well when the video's playing, but I'm not sure. What are they doing? Running from something.
You playing at the tent? The girl there.
Oh, all right, that's it. Yeah, that would be scary, man. You know. That thing wanted a bone. All right, I'm gonna play the next ad to stage.
My partner stepped out with the dog for one last walk at that night, and I was the only one left in the house at this point. I grabbed my phone as quick as I could and actually captured the noises. There was a couple different noises that were heard. It played that noise twice, and then laughter style, which you'll hear later, and then it also played like a very loud shrieking noise of a girl screaming. So I don't know, it came from the basement. It was just mind-numbingly loud. So I did what any composed man would do. I grabbed a knife and gave it a good 5 minutes and went down and looked around. So at this point I noticed everything was normal, and there's a couple of rooms down there I didn't really care to look in, so I just marked the doors with pillows so I could go back and see if anything had moved the next day from my video I was taking. And at this point in time we determined just to get out of the house, take the dog with us, and
Come on, Jesse. Up.
get out of there because there's just too many unexplained things.
Come on, up. Let's go. Come on, up. Go.
She had to come back the next day first thing, so I said, as soon as you get there, check for the ball at the door, and then take pictures of the pillows downstairs. And this is what she sent me. Well, this is the original. This is what she sent me. Normal. Video. Next day. So at this point, I realized, okay, someone's in the house. Get the hell out of there. And I went over there and put 2 cameras in there. One in the bonus room, one on the main floor, which captured everything. It was the weirdest thing. The dog just went up and down all day and just stared into a room and just whimpering back and forth. We're not going to pretend like the decor up there is normal by any means. And then the camera did the weirdest thing. It just went blank.
Oh. Whoa, what's that? Is that a person or?
So she went back to check that night, and finally we captured the laughter on the cameras. Her motion had set it off and saved the clips. And to this very day, we cannot explain what happened that day. Everything's been disconnected electronically in the house.
Move out.
Yeah. Okay, kitty, you're
And I'll take her.
okay. There you go.
What's
What's next? What's next?
Don't scare videos. No.
You see that?
Oh my god! Oh
That one. I pointed at the lady.
Whoa, what in the world?
I remember seeing this before, and the people riding the ride said they didn't know who that lady was. So she wasn't sitting there. I'm gonna play the yeah, that demon there.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's rough looking.
Interesting. Honestly.
What's this one?
Out in their house when one of them sees something in the doorway. Pause the video and you can see it's clearly the upper half of a young girl who is dressed in old-fashioned clothes from another time period. She is floating in midair as she curiously peeks in on the two children to see what they are doing. One of the girls still doesn't see the ghost. She shouts at something that's on television and accidentally startles the ghost away. The girl with the camera follows the ghost as it retreats. The ghost instantly teleports and now stares at them from the top of the steps. The scared girls run out of the house screaming. They stop only for a second to turn around from the street. They can see the ghost girl walking across the left window on the top floor. It vanishes and then suddenly appears on the bottom floor in less than a second. They scream even louder and take off again. Number 2. Stay out of the attic. Back in 2008, a man started to notice some strange activities around his house. He would often come home from work to find his dogs cowering under the bed, too afraid to come out. One of his dogs would only come out from under the bed for a brief 10 seconds at most before going straight back into hiding. Something was intimidating these large dogs badly. The owner starts to hear banging noises coming from all over his house. He begins to look around. He eventually traces the noise to his attic and goes upstairs with a camera for a closer look. Everything is completely trashed. Boxes are overturned and clothing is scattered everywhere. Something has violently flung all of his personal possessions all around. As soon as he goes back downstairs, he hears another huge bang and runs right back up the steps. He puts the camera down and searches the empty attic for clues. A nearby metal bucket falls over and he runs out of the room before he gets hurt. Another object hits the ground on its own and the camera moves to the right on its own too. The homeowner was too scared to look at the footage. He waited a week before going back upstairs to get his camera. By now, he is understandably quite paranoid. He begins recording everything he does in his home, and it isn't long before he has more paranormal evidence. One day, his radio turns to static and a spirit orb rushes out the window. Later, someone violently jiggles the doorknob to the door that leads to the attic. The door opens and shuts by itself. The radio goes back to normal soon after. Things look to be going back to normal for a second, but then a paper towel roll suddenly flies up from the table to the couch, and the radio starts making more sounds again. The video recording starts to get fuzzy too, as if a ghost is causing electrical disturbances by passing by. Both of his dogs begin to look in the same spot as if they are following something. Whatever it was, the man was never able to physically catch it on film. He was only able to record its strange and oftentimes violent behaviors. Number 1. Ghoul School. This footage comes from somewhere in the Middle East. A group of teenagers are curiously exploring an old school. They go up a flight of steps and pause when they hear a dog whining on the other side of the door. They all run down the steps and gather at the bottom. They're afraid of being attacked by a group of stray dogs now, but they decide to press on and explore the lower areas. The group finds bravery in their numbers and begins to joke and laugh again as they make their way down a long hallway. They open a door and find graffiti on the wall. Other people had been here before them. Maybe this place isn't so bad after all. The teens grow a little more nervous as they continue to poke around. They are laughing less and starting to go silent. Something just isn't right about this section of the building. A YouTuber named Zabin Jaguar translated their comments. He says at this point one of the teens say that their phone shut itself off even though it was fully charged only a moment ago. Another person was able to keep recording, though they probably now wish they hadn't. They enter one classroom in particular and get a dreadful feeling. Suddenly a figure actually appears out of thin air and walks towards them. The ghost is missing his head, but there's somehow no blood. A loud chanting begins as soon as the ghost walks towards them, but this may be prayers from a nearby mosque. Amazingly, the group all appears to have missed the ghost, which explains why they calmly continue to keep exploring. They wouldn't see the apparition until much later, but when they did, they would never forget what was heading straight towards them in that room.
I bet.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Exposing Hollywood. Lil Uzi Vert is the next Illuminati sacrifice. Let's start with the pink diamond he got embedded in his forehead for $30 million, but his net worth is only $25 million. If you didn't know that, I want you to share this with 5 people. This was definitely given to him by the Illuminati. It was his humiliation ritual, which is common to see in celebrities right before their 27th birthday. Lil Uzi Vert is an agent of the Church of Satan. He's good friends with Marilyn Manson, who is a minister of the satanic religion. He always frequently is pictured in red. The rapper's Rolling Loud performance was a religious-themed satanic ritual. He summoned the devil on stage. He was dressed in all red with a devil-looking hairstyle, and there were crosses around the stage. The audience aren't aware that they themselves are partaking in a ritual to Lucifer. He's always been a puppet for his label, like wearing a dress. Is that the game, too? In 2022, Lil Uzi came out as non-binary and changed his pronouns to them/they, partaking in the gender-neutral agenda. His album, Eternal Take, it's right in front of you. Let's translate it. It means that his soul is taken eternally, and we know it isn't by God. Folks, there will be a tragedy this summer, and the Illuminati will sacrifice Lil Uzi Vert before his birthday on July 31st. Will the highly anticipated album, The Pink Tape, see the light of day? He is going to join the 27 Club, mark my words.
Just past July 31st. Is he still alive?
Yeah, probably. For anybody that doesn't know, all these celebrities and rappers and singers and whatnot, I mean, they're all part of it, you know, like all of them. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, what's this one?
Time hypothesis? It's a theory that suggests we've been living a lie. The hypothesis is a historical conspiracy theory proposed by German historian Heribert Illig in 1991. According to Illig, we are not living in the 21st century, but rather in the 18th century. Sounds crazy, right? The theory suggests that the early Middle Ages, 614 through 911 AD, never happened and were fabricated by the Holy Roman Emperor Otto III, Pope Sylvester II, and possibly the Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII. They allegedly altered the existing calendar to place themselves at the special year of 1000 AD, creating a phantom time of 297 years that never existed. Illig's hypothesis is based on the scarcity of archaeological evidence that can be reliably dated from the years 614 through 911, the perceived inadequacies of radiometric and dendrochronological methods of dating this period, and the over-reliance of medieval historians on written sources. The phantom time hypothesis is widely dismissed by mainstream historians and scholars. It contradicts verifiable historical and archaeological data from around the world, and the Gregorian calendar we use today, introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582, is widely accepted as accurate. So, what do you think? Are we living in a fabricated timeline?
Our timeline is so messed up. I mean, the Bible, the old Bible, said there was like 13 or 14 months, like there's pictures. What old Christian texts, the Apocrypha texts, say like 13 or 14 months. I forget which one it is. Our timeline's so messed up, and I mean, especially if the Millennial Kingdom did already happen, which there's a lot of reason to believe that it has. If not, if it didn't happen, there was still an advanced civilization. Are you yawning at me talking?
Oh my goodness.
I can go on about it, but anyways, yeah, our timeline's definitely messed up. Who knows what day and time we're actually in? Like, you know what I mean? Anyways, here we go.
If anybody else remembers this, when COVID started here in the US, there was this guy that had millions of followers throughout all these platforms, and he deleted all of his other platforms except for TikTok, and he made like a series of videos apologizing to his fans and like pretty much telling them to be prepared from what happens now when COVID started to 2026. I came across his page when I had COVID the very first time, and I was out of commission for like a month and a half because I was so sick, so I had time to watch all his videos. There was like 70, 80 videos, and you can tell they were all made in the same day, so he was trying to hurry up and push out the information, and then he was gone. His last video, he was like sobbing, could barely even speak at that point. And he said that him, his wife, and his 3 kids were going to live off grid and disappear until 2029, when he will be able to come back and reveal who gave him this information and who his resources were. But he would refer to these people as uppers. In like the first 10 videos, he discusses how he got his social media platforms and that he was given fame and that his cousin was actually the one that was famous, and his cousin took him to an event and he latched on to someone that was in the uppers that's against famous people. So I guess, like, in other words, a famous person that has a committee that's against the bad famous people. They latched on and became friends, and they gave him an assignment. They gave him social media platforms with millions of followers and told him to post for 2 months so he becomes a familiar face, and then to delete all his platforms and just stick with one platform that is popular in that time. And during that time and now, TikTok is the most popular platform. And I'm into conspiracies, and I only remember the ones that scare me. I know that's weird, but I remember watching all his videos and I was terrified because the things he was saying made sense. And I almost made like a mental checklist. So anytime anything happens, I'm like, fuck, he said that. I kid you not, everything this man has said so far has happened, and I cannot find his videos. And I hope people remember him, because it was like a year straight people made fun of him, and then it just all stopped. And what brought this up today is I just watched a video of The Simpsons talking about the stars falling from the sky. And he made this comment that made no fucking sense to me. And he said, I want you guys to know that the stars are going to fall, but it's not the ones that are in the sky. It's the ones you look up to. In the back of my head, I said, the ones I look up to are the ones in the sky. Absolutely not. And now it makes sense after seeing that little clip. It blows my mind. If anybody remembers it and you can find a video, tag me in it so I can have proof. But also I want to rewatch his videos because holy shit, like, mind blown.
First off, sorry about the language. I didn't watch these beforehand, so I didn't know. I really wonder who this guy is, though. You know, like, it's hard for me to believe that any of the stars turn against each other, because when they do, they get killed, you know, like, or they get, I can say that, right? I don't know. But, Mozart, he was one of them, you know. There's a whole history behind that. He turned on the Illuminati, on the Masons or whatever. Yeah, it's a whole thing. You got anything to say? Okay.
Listen to me. You see these two rainbows here, all right? Which are coming from the reflection of this corner and this corner of the glass. Just like this one is here as well, coming from that corner, as well as this one coming from that corner. So when we see a rainbow outside in the sky, shaped like this, where is that coming from?
I get it.
The only explanation would be if we were to have some form of rounded glass structure above us. If you've never heard of the firmament, look up the firmament and research and educate yourself. I'm not saying the earth is flat, but it's not a globe.
Yeah, I thought maybe it's like dipped in or like, you know, old, you know.
You don't know nothing.
I mean, I have my guesses, you know. There's definitely a firmament because the Bible says there is. So, you know, I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's this one? You're not lying. There's a line. What is it? It's moving fast, though.
Whoa.
What do you do?
He goes so fast. I don't get it. Not yet.
What's
I don't know. I don't get it.
I didn't see anything.
I don't know. I don't get it. Somebody, please tell us what it was.
Was there like a shadow or?
I don't understand. Leave a comment.
All right, I think this is the last one coming up. Let's check her out.
That sounds completely unbelievable, but is entirely true.
When I tell this story to this day, people do not believe me. When I was a freshman in college, I was going to a private school in Pittsburgh. I was leaving the next year. I was going to a different school. So my friends and I, some of us were leaving, some of us were moving, whatever. We decided we wanted to kind of hit all the different spots in Pittsburgh that we really liked. No part of that. And that was it.
Man, I wish they would have took pictures so we could have seen the proof of all of that.
Yeah, still might be true.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff. I think a lot of this stuff on here, I mean, it could be fake, but I definitely think a lot's real. But anyways, that's the last one. So I appreciate you guys watching.